got a big old sad nose.
Welcome to H&G Comedy, where we have that 8-inch D, since we both have 4-inch.
No. We have guests today.
Oh, yeah.
We have a guest today. We're not going to talk about our wieners.
Welcome to H&D Comedy Podcast.
Work it, boy.
Get funky, get freaky.
With your host, HAFA and Davey.
Oh, baby. Ooh.
Thanks for tuning in.
Today's guest is Mike Lukas.
Yes.
Has 23 plus years of stand-up comedy. Has over 5 books?
I have 7 books now.
7 books. David, you misinformed me, sir. No.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's not his fault because the 2 of them just came out.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you,
we,
man.
we could talk about the newest ones that just came out. I should have probably brought some outside here to show them.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Put it in the
physical proof.
background, right? Yeah.
I swear to God.
I swear to God, they're there.
I can type. I swear.
Look at me. I
have
can
books
read
in my
and
mind.
everything.
I can read. I swear I can read.
There's words all in my mind.
Is that a manifesto? No.
No. What do you mean? It's just my thoughts on the world and how it should go.
Yes.
Certainly not a manifesto. Blah. Yeah. With the blah at the end.
Wait a minute. This is Trump's diary. Wait a sec.
I'm sorry. Oh my
Get your
God.
hands on that.
It's written in blood.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So you grew up in Cleveland. You've lived, it feels like, a million places.
Yeah, I've been around, man. Well, the first goal was I was trying to get through school. I was just trying to get through college. I went to University of Dayton, studied management information systems with a minor in computer programming. So I'm a total nerd. And
Hell
I
yeah.
got this job at AT&T right out of college, and that was in Cincinnati. So in my mind, that's where I was sort of headed. And then I took an acting class, and I started doing stand-up a couple times, and I was like, I like this a lot better. So I got a job at Disney MGM Studios. I auditioned to be in their original cast. And do you hear that? There's a car alarm that's going off. I swear to God, this is what I love about Texas. There's like certain sounds that you'll hear automatically during the course of your day, like a car alarm that just for some reason just goes off. It's not helping anybody. It's not preventing a theft.
Nobody's stopping it.
Nobody's stopping anybody. No one's like, wait a minute, there's a thieving going on. There's always our next door neighbor is always doing a leaf blower. So there's so it's just and just blowing crap Are we allowed to swear on this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It
you
was
say
just
whatever.
blowing shit everywhere out of their lawn, but on ours,
Onto yours.
right? And on the street.
Dusting up allergies over here, you asshole.
and then there's the mariachi music, which is like the accordion, which is really funny to crank the accordion. I mean, I have nothing against any kind of music. I like all music live is fine for me, but to crank an accordion is just so funny that these guys are like, wow, it's just fun.
Crank
Finger-
an
them
accordion
fingers
in the
going
middle
hard.
of the day.
In the middle of the day, it's really
Like,
funny.
holy
Because we all know accordions are night music.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
And you just
basic
hear-
science.
It's basic
You
science.
just hear him. And you're like,
Right, and it's that's what you hear all, and so I love the sounds of Dallas. That's to me that, and all the other sounds are roosters and chickens. We have
Yeah.
people, our neighbors have roosters and chickens around, which is a smart move with how expensive eggs are.
Sure.
So not judging anybody for trying
that
to
rooster,
bypass the
dude?
grocery store. But that rooster, and this rooster is on like a weird time zone because it cockadoodles in the worst times. It's
Yeah.
like noon. It's like, dude, are you just now waking up? What are you, a stoner?
He is in,
Fucking
he's
rooster.
in Dallas. I mean,
Yeah,
that
he's
is
got
morning.
contact high.
Hey man, it's time to get up. You know, it's
Oh.
like it's noon. We like get some lunch. We'll call it brunch.
Lay some eggs, ladies.
These ladies.
He's like, "Where's the food?"
But so anyway, so I got a job at Disney MGM Studios, and that's when I started doing stand up at night. And so that's when I was living in Orlando, Florida, and then from there I moved up to Chicago. And in Chicago, I got a show called The Straight Dope on A&E, and it was a weekly show that we did that we answered questions like, does quicksand really work? Why do people walk across hot coals? what are some of the other questions?
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the auto alarm, the car alarm goes off, and eventually you just ignore it. You don't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
But then once you start hearing it, you can't not hear it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And there's
like
also
it's like
a
the
pack
train.
of dogs that live right over across the way too. So periodically they'll just be like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and then all of a sudden they'll go like dead silent, like someone just came out with a chainsaw, and they're like,
Yeah. They're like, oh,
"It will be dinner."
my bad, bro.
So yeah, so then I moved in Chicago. I was there for quite a while, and I did that show, and then I got on the Tonight Show out of Chicago, and then I moved to New York for a year. And I don't know if you've ever been to New York, but it's a real East Coast vibe, and everybody's like this, and everybody talks like this, and no matter where you go, no matter what you do, everybody's got that energy and that attitude. And if you don't have that energy and that attitude, you don't fit in. And I was just like, oh my God, you guys are so loud and you're so
I want
aggressive.
to fucking smoke weed.
Chill.
Yo.
So then I moved to LA, and it was like, oh, this is home. This is
Yeah.
great, and I really enjoyed living out there. And then I got a job at the Flamingo, working at Second City, and they did a theater there, which is an improv troupe out of Chicago. Which is I worked for them when I was living in Chicago, and then they knew me from that, and then they said, hey, do you want to do our main stage in Vegas?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And my roommate was Jason Sudeikis, the
yeah.
guy
No
from what's the show he's in?
Saturday Night Live.
No,
He's in SNL, and now he's
Ted Lasso.
yeah.
Love Ted Lasso.
Yeah, and so he was my roommate with Kay Cannon, who's his girlfriend at the
Yeah.
time, and she's a big like a writer and producer now. And so we were there for a year, and then I went back to LA, and then I ended up doing a radio show for CBS Radio called Cracking Up with Gretchen and the Lukes. I was the Lukes.
Nice.
And so we had this show where we it was a weekly show, and we had guests on who were improvisers from LA that I knew from Second City and Improv Olympic, and we would have them play all the weird news characters that were we would do stories. And so like it would be like Bill Johnson is collecting squirrels in New Jersey, so we'd have one of my friends play Bill Johnson, and he'd come on and tell us like I'll tell you what the problem with squirrels is. And so he would go into his squirrel rant, and we would just interview him as if he's the guy from the story. So we would just do that, with our friends, and that went on for like 5 or 6 years.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and then that ended when FM Talk
Dream,
ended.
dude.
Yeah.
Right? It was a dream job. It was really great, and we were in the CBS studios there where Adam Carolla was working, and Tom Likas, and then FM Talk ended. The whole format just ended in 2008, and so we all lost our jobs, and that's when I had babies. So then I moved back to Cleveland to help raise my babies with my wife, and then we lived there for 5 years while I sort of did some more stand up in the clubs, and then I did the cruise ships. And I always said if I do cruise ships, I'm on the way out. And sure enough, I hung up the cleats in 2014 and began writing, and that's when I started writing the books. And so the books, just to give you an idea of what I've written, the first 3 books were the Funny Muscle books, and it's Finding Your Funny Muscle, which is how to create laughs like a pro, Flexing Your Funny Muscle, how to practice creating laughs like a pro, and then that was Fine Tuning Your Funny Muscle, and then Flexing Your Funny Muscle is when and where to deliver laughs like a pro. And so those are all for anyone who wants to be a comedian and anyone who wants to be funnier.
Yeah.
And it's a methodology to sort of to write jokes and to deliver them. And then I wrote a collection of short stories, twisted short stories called Frog Belly Beans.
Yeah, I looked it up earlier.
Right?
I want it.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
get it. Dude,
yeah.
you would be perfect for this. You guys you would love that. You're my audience.
Yeah.
They're just really weird, twisted short stories that I don't want to like tell you them because then it'll pooch the punch of them. But trust me, I say they're they're fun. They're fun, fast reads. You can knock out between the unbuckle and the flush.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So-
That's my kind of
right. For when you're in the library.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a book called the Daily Joy Strategy, which is a self-help book to help people bring joy into their life, and it's sort of a cranky comics game plan to prioritize joy in your daily life. And that one is sort of a mystical book that I did. I'm a Buddhist, so I wanted to write a book that sort of had like a approachable talk of Buddhism, and so that's what that book is. And then I wrote my two most recent books are part of the Funny Muscle series is the business of comedy, and it's a book. It's a 125-page book. It's a short one that I'm giving away for free, and it's 21 things every stand-up comedian should know about the business of stand-up comedy, and it's got a lot of great information in that book. It's got the 5 tools of stand-up comedy. It's got how to get work. It's got how to develop a following. Just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Things that every stand-up comedian should know about the business of stand-up. Because we all think the job is to get laughs and to deliver our jokes, which is a main part of our job. But when you think about it, our job is to also run our business.
Right.
And that's what this book is about. And then finally, the 7th book that I have is a vigilante martial arts crime thriller.
Yeah, so I was scrolling your page,
Right?
and the
You're like, what the hell is
tagline
this one?
the tagline is like a hiss of death.
It's called Spin Kick: The Hiss of Death.
Yeah.
And so it's a vigilante martial arts crime thriller. And well, actually, it's a martial arts vigilante crime thriller. If you go by the way it's written on the subtitle there, that's actually the description of it. But it's got 5 stories that sort of come together into one, and it's sort of like if Jack Reacher meets Kung Fu.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I wanted to, because like my goal was, I wanted to write. I travel so much as a comedian. I always read like these airport books. You know, where you buy a book at the airport and you get on a flight and it's such an easy read. You can get through the whole thing. You know, like a John Grisham book or like these Lee Child, Jack Reacher books. And I want to write a book like that. I want to and so that's what this book is. It's like 325 pages, but you can get through it. It's real fast and it's real fun.
Right on.
That's what's
That's
up.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are that's the 7 books of Mike
Yeah, yeah.
Lukas, and
I love it. I love that the last one is so
it's out there, man.
It's like, all right, like he's gonna he teaches you how to, and then I like the Buddhist thing,
Right? Yeah.
self-help book. That's cool. And
Anything you
then
need.
just out of left field comes this vigilante karate kid.
Well, and here's what it's based on. There's a comedian named Vince Champ who was arrested for being a serial rapist, and this was a guy who was out of Chicago, and then I think he lived in a couple of other cities, but his story fascinated me because he was this guy who was hard to catch. Because what he would do is he would go to a comedy club and perform, and he'd be the nicest guy in the world. And then he would go to a college that was nearby, and he would go to the musical practice rooms, and he would rape women in these soundproof
Oh wow.
practice rooms. They were like glass
Yeah.
enclosed rooms, so no one could hear them. And so it was a real devious and upsetting run that this guy had. And I was always like fascinated by the fact that, so I sort of loosely based it off of his crime. And my hero, he's the antagonist in the story, and my hero is Ted Roosevelt, no relation. And he is and throughout the whole book there are a whole bunch of Ted Roosevelt Easter eggs that you if you know anything about the president, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that's buried. And this guy is he's been spin kicking since he's been little. His dad trained him, and it ends up being the hero of the story. And then there's a drunk detective that has his own son that he's dealing with, and then there's a girl who is a potential victim, and she's a college student. And then all these stories sort of come together into one big final climactic ending.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's
We're
crazy.
We're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You got to, man. And don't forget to review it. That's what people will always forget, to review books. If you enjoy the books, please leave a review. Where's this camera? Please leave a review. We authors depend on our readers to leave us a kind review. It tells the algorithm that this book is worth reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
So.
you. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. We're probably gonna buy all 7.
I love it.
Oh.
Please don't lie.
No.
Please buy all 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born after June, but
July.
July.
You lie. Don't you lie. Don't you lie.
Speaking of the algorithm, how'd you come across our content? Did it just pop up or?
No, here's what it's funny. I've been doing a lot of podcast interviews because I bought a service that just goes out and searches for anyone that's got comedy in their algorithm.
Okay.
And so you guys popped up on the algorithm, and you just happen to be from Texas also. And so it ended up being a cool meeting of minds.
Right.
Yeah. So then when you guys were like, hey, yeah, well, let's do it. And then you're like, we'll come to you. I was like, what? No way. I was like, hell
dedication.
yeah. That's dedication, man. And I love it. So I was like, absolutely, man. I yes, and I'm an improviser, which in Second City is you're trained to yes and heighten. And when you yes and, it means you agree with whatever's been done, and then you heighten it one step further. Which when you heighten it, it means you make it worse, make it weirder, make it bigger or more intense. And so that's sort of the theory and philosophy I use in my life, which is a yes and thing. So when you were like, hey, we'll come to you, I was like, yes and, let's do this.
We had a debate on the way over here whether we were going to get here and you were going to be like, hey, you guys are terrible at comedy. Don't fucking do it anymore.
Yeah, I was like, what if we get there and he's just all like, yeah, so I brought you here to tell you you're not good at comedy.
I Googled you guys, and you guys got to get out, man.
Yeah,
I needed you to drive here. I need you to say it face to face. I'm not a hypocrite.
I'm going to smash all of your things.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Worst comedian duo on YouTube right now.
You popped up.
No, man. I didn't do any research on you. I just trusted that it was going to be worthwhile, and already I'm happy that we did it, and we have already gotten along through football and weed. So what more and comedy.
Yeah.
So what more
could you want?
What more could you want?
Like
Man?
the three best things.
That's my hot spots.
Your time at Second City, because it's like that's such a big thing in the comedic game. Is so many actors and comedians have gone through Second City improv and really busted their chops. Or really, I guess, refined their game there.
Yeah.
So what was that like? What was your?
It was great. I went there first of all as a student, and I went through their conservatory program, which is you do 5 levels, and each level has different teachers and different goals, and you're learning how to improvise, you're learning how to write sketches, you're learning how to perform, you're learning how to put together a show. And all the different teachers have different methods in order to get you on board with that. But the thing they're trying to teach you is how to be in the moment and listen and react to what your scene partner is talking about. And when you are improvising, you're doing it from nothing. So you're having to really have a methodology that you're approaching when you're with somebody who also has that same methodology in mind, which is yes and so when you're doing a scene together, you say something like hey Bill, it's good to see you. I need that $20 you owe me. So now you know that we know each other, you know that your name is Bill,
Right.
and you know that you owe me money, and you know that I'm ready to get my money back. So if you're listening and you're yes-anding, you would say, first of all, you probably give me a name. Like,
Right.
Holy shit, Steve, is it already Tuesday? I didn't realize that the time has come for me to hand you my gambling debt. Let me kill my cow and get you that money real quick, or something like that, and so that's a pretty big heighten. But just the idea that now you know that my name is whatever I said, Steve.
Yeah.
You know that I'm scary because you're nervous, and you know that you now have a method of earning money to pay me off, which is you're going to kill your cow.
Yeah.
So now we have a scene going, and that's just with one back and forths, because we both yes-anded. You yes-anded what I said when I gave you something pretty healthy in the beginning. So that's what you learn in Second City, is how to create those kind of scenarios, and then you get to higher level stuff where you begin to have object work, where if I'm going to offer you a cup of coffee, I'll pour you a cup of coffee and hold it and hold it over you. And then you grab it, and you would mime the fact that you're drinking my coffee. Maybe you spill some, and it's now you have a piss stain on your thing because you
Whiskey.
right. Yeah. Now that's going to be a denial, because if I say it's coffee, you have to say yes, it's coffee, and then you might be able to say, whoa, this coffee has whiskey in it. But if you try to make my coffee into whiskey, you've negated the idea that I've come in.
Right.
So for you to say that my coffee has, like, it's an Irish coffee, that's a fun heighten. Now we're drinking. Now we're getting fucked up.
Like
Yeah,
you take
yeah.
a sip and you go, oh, Irish coffee.
Right. Ooh,
Whoa.
whoa. I stopped drinking last year. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, today's as good a day as it gets to start in again. You know.
Don't you know I'm in recovery?
You're right.
Yeah, I'm in recovery.
Last night.
Right? And so the idea that you're sharing these ideas with each other and then you're heightening with each other. The stand-up comics are very much no buts. We always do stuff like, no, this is a better idea of how to do it. And improvisers are always like, yes, and no matter what you say, I'm going to support it. And I'm going to make it even crazier than how you started it.
Mhm.
So that's what I learned at Second City. And then I started touring with them. I was in Greenco, and I had Craig Kukowski was there. He's in. Have you ever watched Drunk History?
Oh yeah.
He's one of the guys in there. I was John Farley was my roommate on the road. Chris Farley's brother.
Yeah.
He was a nut and a funny guy. And we toured for at least over a year, and was just on the road in a van, just going to different places in America, and we also went to Vienna, and did an English speaking show in Europe. And then I was an understudy for the main stage in Chicago, and so that was a really big deal. They had this guy Jim Zulovic was the guy who I understudied for, and he was in the main stage show with Rachel Dratch, with Tina Fey,
Damn.
with Scott Adsit, with who else was in that show? There's a I can't think of his name, but he's another big dude, and so I got to Jim Zulovic was a big Chicago Cubs fan, so he would always call in sick so he could go watch the Cubs play in the summer. So he would call me up. He'd be like, "Hey, Mike, you might not want to be doing anything on Friday night." And his way to tell me that he was going to be calling in sick.
He's going to Cubs.
So then I would get to fill in and get to work with all these great actors, and because I got to do that for a couple of years, then I was on their list of people to go to, and so they ended up offering me Kelly Leonard, the GM there. He offered me, well, he's the producer. He offered me a role at the Second City in Vegas, and that's when I ended up being on their main stage in Vegas for a year.
Wow!
And so that was a fantastic. Because I got to teach, I got to perform, and then we got to do these Sunday shows where we went to this coffee shop, and we would just be the Second City people, and it would be packed, and there would be no standing room only, and we would just do a Herald. We would do a long form improv, and it would just be all of us from the Second City Theater, and it would just be all the people there from UNLV. Were like college kids were like, oh, it's the Second City people, come on in, it's a free show. So they'd come in and watch the show, and so it was great. It was a fun run.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So that was what Second City was like. It was a great time, and you make a lot of friends, you make a lot of memories, and you develop a certain level of improv skills that is unrivaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess you could argue that Groundlings teach you the same, sort of thing. UCB, Upright Citizens Brigade,
Right.
They teach the same kind of stuff. But there's different. The thing Second City does that makes it different is they use improvisation to get sketches in place.
Right.
So they will do an improv scene, and then if it was a good scene between you and I, we go, oh hey, remember that scene we did where you were the bartender and I was the drunk giraffe? Let's bring that into the show. And so we would write it out and try to remember. We would record our improv, and then we would write out the thing that we did, and then we would just try to improve that by running it a bunch of different times.
Yeah.
And so whereas if like the Improv Olympic or the Upright Citizens Brigade, their theater says improv is its own product. We think that you don't need to see sketches that are ironed out.
Right.
We'll show you the actual improv, and that will be the product that we deliver. And so their theaters do that kind of product. So that's what they're sort of producing.
Yeah. And that's good stuff too. Groundlings.
Good improv. Well, it's like anything. Good improv and good stand-up is awesome.
Right.
Shitty stand-up and shitty improv is just horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
We're being asked to do. It's kind of a benefit, but they're doing a stand-up. And they're gonna have a couple openers, and then probably pay somebody to come in and do stand up at the end. But they wanted us to host it and then do some of our own stuff.
Oh, good.
And we're he's excited. I'm shitting bricks.
Are you gonna do some improv? Are you gonna just do some like duo stuff next to each other?
Yeah, because he was saying that they have like 2 or 3 people that would open, and I was saying like me and him can host it and like bring them up or whatever, and then after them, me and him both go up, tell a couple of jokes, and then maybe kind of do like a little bit of crowd work and then bring up the main dude
That's good. Yeah, and
or girl.
get some gags together that you can do back and forth. That'll be in your back pocket in case you need them.
Yeah.
That's always helpful to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can have some fun with that with somebody else on stage with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having him up there is gonna be. It's gonna be great.
It'd be nice. Yeah. Well, but yeah, then when you go blank, then he's got something, and when
Yeah.
he goes blank, then you've got something.
We're pretty good about that. One of us starts stuttering or skipping along, but then it's like,
Okay. Hey, help me
Yeah.
out, brother.
you're doing this. Tag in.
Right, yeah.
Tag
Tag
in.
Yeah, like the wrestlers.
Yeah, he's like,
It's gonna fall down. And be like,
I'm trying.
brother.
Help me out, brother. Come on in and give me a move.
Would you be interested in being the main dude coming up?
How far away is this show?
It's in Stephenville.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
an
in
hour and a
Stephenville.
half.
Probably not.
Yeah. I got you. Are you?
We have the one car, and then that car right there is out of commish right now. So until I get that car back in commish, I'm sort of relegated to being a local comedian
Are you
Hey.
doing some stuff at
at the Dallas Comedy Club.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been working there. I do their open mics on Wednesday. I've been working some. I've been opening for them. Because I took 10 years off. That when I took the 10 years off to write, I was also doing that to help raise my kids.
Right.
And I got tired of traveling around and like being away from my kids. I come home, I'm like, hey, it's me, Daddy, and they're like, remind us.
Who?
Okay, who's that? Who's that? You look familiar. You're the guy from the front room, right? And so, I took 10 years off, and then I started back in August. I said, like, I got to get back on stage. My kids were like, they're teenagers now, and they're like, Dad, you need to get out of the house. It's starting to stink.
You're like, wow.
Like, wow, you
Love
can,
it too.
yeah, you nut don't fall far from the tree. Kids are just like me. I'm gonna be like you, Dad. Oh no, please don't.
I'm gonna make you proud, Dad.
Oh no, please
Well-
do.
If you were interested, I'd come and pick you up.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
come and get me. You would too. I
I'd Uber.
believe you.
Yeah. I'm real dedicated to a bunch of stuff. Like I love doing this stuff, but I like being kind of more behind the camera kind of stuff,
You're a
like
behind the camera guy.
yeah, I want to be like a producer and director and stuff like that. And like I really like editing and stuff. Like I like sitting
And apparently,
down.
driver.
Yeah.
You're willing to drive.
Oh yeah.
Whatever we gotta do.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, that's a good. I like that you have a vision of what you want because everybody has their own vision of where they fit in the role in like what role they play in the business. And in LA, there are so many roles that need to be filled, and they're not all in front of the camera. And,
Right.
and some people do both. Some people are like ambidextrous and they do all this sort of stuff. And like you, it looks like you're like to be in front of the camera, but you also like to do the grunt work, as we call it.
Yeah.
That's good though, man. That's do you do any editing also?
Oh yeah, he edits all
the
this.
yeah. If you ever watch any of the episodes or anything, I do all the editing because I do Two Birds and then H&D and then Stunt Stories. This guy named Corey Eubanks.
Oh, nice.
He worked on the original Dukes of Hazzard. He was in all the Transformers movies.
Oh, nice.
A couple of Fast and Furious. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, and he's out of Stephenville too. And I worked for Texan Restroom doing porta potties and shit. And yeah, I took some to his house one day, and I was kind of joking with him a little bit. And he has a bunch of vehicles, and I was like, "Why do you have all these vehicles?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm a stuntman." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Oh, I thought you were
Wow.
just getting ready for the election," because it was like right around that time. And he started laughing, and then we talked, and now we're producing his podcast.
Now you're doing a podcast, and he talks about stunts and stuff.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
cool.
pull up like old videos and stuff of like you'll see the actor, then when it switches and you'll pause it just right and you can see him in the driver's
You can
seat kind
see
of thing.
Oh,
Him
that's
and his-
funny.
Him and his terrible wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to try to like emulate whoever the actor is. It's
Mhm.
funny. That's those stuntmen are crazy. Like you can hit them and they fall over, and from the angle it looks like you just smacked them in the face, and they're able to take that
Yeah, they.
periodic punch that they have to actually take.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they hit the
He-
ground sometimes you're just like, Jesus. Like
I wish I had a stuntman for just life. Like stuff like okay, I got to get out of the car and my hips are hurting me. Just
Stuntman.
stuntman, get in there.
yeah. Get in and do this, please.
I got to go to the gym. Stuntman,
Get in
get
there.
in there.
My wife needs to be pleased.
Yeah,
Stuntman.
stuntman. Talk me through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach me. Yeah.
Oh, man. Drop and roll, Mike. Drop and roll.
Hire a Cato. He just attacks you every day when you get home.
Right.
Like Kato.
Cato, I know I said that there was no safe word, but I swear to God, man, I'm so tired today. Don't.
Don't do it. I love that. Yeah, Peter Sellers.
You're saying you do the open mics on Wednesdays here?
Yeah, they have a Wednesday open mic here, and there you have to sign up on online, and then there's 8 people that go up on standby. Then there's 30 people that are on the list, and then there's 8 more people that are on secondary standby.
Wow.
So the whole thing has, what's that, 46 people?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So usually I get a spot. I teach there, so they usually give me a pretty good spot. And yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get, there's in town here, there's like 13 clubs within an hour. Right? There's like 10 clubs within a half hour of where I live. So I'm trying to really start to get my name into these different places so that I can get work and get my chops back up again. Because that's the thing. I took 10 years off. And when you take that much time off, you don't realize how fast the game is moving, and then you stop and you try to get back on the treadmill, and the treadmill's moving super fast, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't even grab my footing.
I haven't been to the gym in 10 years. I'm so
Right,
tired.
and you don't realize that, and then you get back up on stage, and you're like, oh my God, it's moving fast, and I got to think quick, and but it's coming back pretty quickly, and so now I'm going to be stretching out. In fact, tonight I'm hoping to go to an open mic after we do our thing. There's a one at this guy's name is Shark. His nickname is Shark, and he does a show at Frankie's.
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie's.
So Frankie's basement. It's in Frankie's basement. So I'm gonna go check that out after we're done, and once I get the car back. My daughter goes to a performance high school.
Nice.
Like you remember, like in Fame, the movie Fame. I want to live forever. She's in a high school like
That's
that.
what she's doing.
So that's what she has. So tonight she's working on one of they do these one act plays, and so she's working on the crew to help
Awesome,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. So we got a whole family of nerds. We got my son is a computer nerd like I am, and he's a programmer. He programs games, and he plays games and programs them. So
That's badass.
oh, these lights are funny. These are the lights that are on out here are all solar powered.
Yeah,
So
that
they-
one.
Come on, when
You were talking earlier about something that turned on. I was like, "Whoa, he's got an idea." The one it's right above you, like that.
Right,
light,
right.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I forgot that we were starting a little bit later, so outside's gonna get dark.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
think they're
people can kind of see us.
It'll be like in that green
I can-
screen kind of, or like green what do they call that, the vision that
Oh,
the night vision.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Night vision.
Night
See
vision.
our eyes glowing. We're just
Right.
like, "Hey,
Like we're like prey.
David's back there. Is that a raccoon?"
Oh,
He's like
the
climbing across the fence.
David's getting hungry.
What time's that? The show.
The open mic starts at 9:30, and so I've never been to it, so I'm probably not going to get a set. But I wanted to just stop by and say hi to
Check
them,
it out,
and
yeah.
just check it out because they have a regular show with DFW comics from 8:30 till like 10 or till 8 until 9:30, and then 9:30 till 11 they have an open mic. I think that's what and it's not too far from the Dallas Comedy Club, so anything I can get in that little area would be nice to
Right.
do.
We have there's a guy in Stephenville that used to come up to Dallas Comedy Club, and he would do open mics.
Oh, cool.
And he's from New York. He grew up in New York, and then he ended up in Stephenville.
Oh my gosh.
And so he did a set for us in Stephenville last year. Oh, you didn't make it. You were sick. But yeah, he was talking about how he'd always come up here, and those guys would always fuck with him because he's from New York. And he'd turn on his accent.
Turn on his accent. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's great.
Ah, wise guy over here.
Wise guy over here. Hey, you know what? We're gonna do some comedy now. Suck my dick. Yeah, that energy would just kill me. And anywhere you go, like you go to the gym, and hey, what's going on? You want to spot me here? You jack off?
You're like, not really.
Yeah.
Not really, buddy.
Not after that comment, bud.
But yeah, moving and seeing all the different spots, like Chicago, New York, L.A., Dallas, Cleveland, Vegas. You come to learn that in every spot that you go to, there's really great comics, there's really shitty comics, and there's mostly people that are somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out where you fit in that hierarchy. And in L.A. and in New York, there's just at the top spot, there's just a lot of really, really good, talented acts. And then in the middle spot, you might have like some of the best ones from all over the country come in there, and they're mediocre in L.A. or New York because of the talent level.
Yeah, talent.
Yeah, and it's disheartening sometimes.
Yeah, I've done an open mic a couple times, and it's a whole different ballgame when you're standing up in front of people, and you can tell dick jokes at work all day, and then
Well, yeah, making drunk strangers laugh is a challenge.
yeah,
You don't know them and they don't know you, and this is what I teach when I also do coaching, and I teach that when you are a comedian trying to get the crowd to laugh, the first thing your job is to get them to know who you are as quickly as possible. Because when you say, for instance, you watch a sitcom, the first season of a sitcom is never as funny as the second and third seasons, because by the second, you know them, you know the characters, you know who they are. So by the second and third season, when Kramer enters the room, you're like, oh, here he comes. We know what he's going to do. And he does, but he does it differently each time, but it's the same, And so, when you're a comedian, your job is to, I call it the comedy lens. It's your brand. It's the who you are as a comedian. It's your job to get that across as quickly as possible, so that by the second or third minute of your act, it's like the second or third season of your sitcom, and they know who you are already. And then they're going to be more likely to laugh because they're like, oh, that's fucking Dave, man. He does that kind of shit. Or that's Mike. He does that kind of shit. Or that's Skyler. He's the guy that does the throw up jokes.
yeah,
He's the one that talks about Mexicans and white people.
Right. And whatever your thing is, that's what you want them to get to know really quickly. And so, no matter where you go in the world to do comedy, your job is to get that audience on your side as quickly as possible, so that they get who you are and where you're coming from.
okay,
That's
good advice.
Yeah, that's what I always try to do. And like I'm a bald guy. I have a shaved head, and so I have to talk about that because it's the first thing people notice. And so I mess with people on that. And I'm older, I'm 59 years old. So, and I look like maybe I'm in my 50s. So I got to address that, because most of the comedians that are coming up on stage are in their 20s and 30s.
Right.
And so I got to just go, okay, well, I'm in a different place. And then once I address those things, then they get like, oh, he gets it. He knows.
Right.
Yeah. I'm David, currently fat, but
Right,
working
yeah.
on
Well,
it.
you're a big guy, so if you don't address the fact that you're a big guy, they're like, does he know? Does he know he's a big guy?
Hey, do you know you're fat?
Are you,
Like,
I bet you're sweating right now.
swamp ass. Fuck you.
Swamp ass. Swamp ass, devil in his hat. Nobody knows where my swamp ass is at. Yes, we do.
Yes,
We saw it when you stood up.
I got
Come on.
Shrek and my ass fighting it out back there over whose swamp it is.
Okay.
All right.
No,
Oh,
man,
man.
it's quite a resume, man. And we're happy you're getting back up. We'll have to come up on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to
Or,
come and watch
Oh
you.
yeah,
And,
come up on a Wednesday and do it if you can. Try to do a set. If you get up at, by 6:30 or 6:45. No, by 7. I think it's 7:00 or 7:15. You sign up for that pre-list.
Okay.
If you can't get on the regular list.
Gotcha.
But since you guys are out of town, you can sign up online, and if you get on the list, it's golden. But sometimes
Right.
if they don't recognize your name, they'll put you on just because they know you're from out of town.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. He'll do it.
Have you done a lot of open mics?
I've never done any.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you know how when you get like nervous about stuff and a lot of people freak out and
Yeah.
they start shaking. I like that feeling, because then I'm like, after I do whatever that situation is, I'm like, I want to do it again.
Right.
I'm chasing that adrenaline, chasing that dragon or whatever,
Yeah.
So that's why I like starting the podcast, or I started streaming video games and stuff, and then I got used to talking in front of a camera without looking at it, kind of
Right.
thing, and getting to talk to anybody. And then it progressed into doing the podcast where I would bring people on and just I'd make them laugh. I love making people laugh. Like if
That's
I can
fun,
get you
right?
to laugh, I try to keep it going because I want you to be like, "Oh my god, like calm down, like I just peed," kind of thing.
Right,
You know? And-
yeah.
Like, you get on my couch.
yeah.
Get out.
It's yeah. If you can ruin some couches, you know you're doing a good job. I used to get people to get milk through the nose. That was always a big sign
Milk through
of
the nose.
if you crack them up at lunch.
I don't think anybody drinks milk anymore.
We used to-
No, man, I get some goat milk out your
Or
nose.
almond.
we
Almond
used
milk.
to we used to give this kid strawberry milk in like kindergarten or whatever because he was allergic to red dye 40 and he would fucking bounce off the walls.
Oh my
So we
god,
did it for our amusement
nice.
and we would lose it, like he's losing it obviously, but we're like
His
and
parents
then-
come in. Who
Oh,
are
yeah.
the children that are poisoning my son?
yeah, then we all got caught.
Sorry, ma'am.
We had to be like, yeah, they're like, it's not good for him. It's like,
He's
okay.
autistic from strawberry milk. What are you doing?
They didn't have
I'm like,
autism
good for
back
him.
then.
Good for him. He's on the
We
spectrum.
still love him,
He's on the milk spectrum.
Yeah. It's gluten free because his tum tum can't handle it.
Yeah, that's the new thing now. The gluten free. I got my sister's gluten free. She's. It's funny how many things have gluten in it.
Yeah, everything.
Everything's got gluten. It's like it's
You gotta eat tree bark.
right, and even that they're like, well, which tree are you going to be eating from? Because
Cedar trees have gluten. Pecan trees don't.
they don't. So let's take a look at that bark.
They're all scraping on it. I think I see some gluten in there.
Wait, is this vegan?
Vegan bark.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh man.
now it's dark.
So yeah, we did it.
We did it. We made it to the dark.
To the dark side of the.
City,
Now this is the dark side of the podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the dark side of the podcast, where we talk about the devil.
Yeah. Oh man, Cleveland. So Cleveland, huh?
Yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland is the town where I grew up. I moved there when I was, I don't know, like 7 years old.
Yeah.
8 years old, and it's funny. I moved there from right outside of Washington D.C. and I didn't want to be moving to Cleveland. And everybody was like, right at the time, that's when the river caught on fire.
Oh
That's
yeah.
when the city went bankrupt. The sports teams weren't that great, although the Browns were okay. They were in and out of some good playing, but I was really bummed at first, and then I got used to it.
Yeah. A lot of people like Cleveland. They like going there, like visiting. I don't.
Now they do. They've
Yeah.
got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They've got the Guardians and the Cavaliers, and
Yeah.
they've got the Browns.
Still
And,
call them the Indians because I can't.
yeah, it's hard to not
Yeah.
go
Like,
back
I
to
call
that.
Washington the Redskins.
the Redskins. Yeah, instead of the commies.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now I gotta mute that part.
Do you though?
Yeah, right. And now you hear that dog barking.
Yeah.
That dog is barking at a chicken.
Yeah.
I found out because I couldn't figure out why that dog keeps barking.
Yeah.
And he's a dog that lives on Hampton, which is that street that's perpendicular, or it's parallel to us right now. Actually, perpendicular to Waddy. And he sits in the backyard and it obsesses over this chicken. So it's like this orchestra of sounds that I get to hear. And then gunfire is the other one. We play a game here in Oak Cliff called Fireworks or Gunfire.
Yeah. Yeah, we play. We only
Not
play,
many people have
we only play
fireworks
that game
here.
on 4th of July, but
Oh yeah.
guys do it like
We do it
weekly.
nightly.
Yeah, nightly.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like that's got to be automatic weaponry. It's got to be a drive-by, or it could be a celebratory. Someone just got a job promotion.
Somebody's daughter just turned 15.
Yeah, a quinceañera.
Yeah,
Could be both. Yeah, it could be the quinceañera.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
You never know. Celebrations, gang violence.
There's not as many gangs
Celebrating gang
in this
violence.
right area, but when my wife was growing up here, there was a lot more gangs. It was a lot more dangerous. They used to call my wife La Loca Weta, the crazy white girl.
That's awesome.
That was her nickname.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, whenever, you sent me the address, and I was like, all right, cool. And we're like looking along, and I'm like, Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
Oh,
like, oh,
shit.
we are in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's all right though. There's a lot of families here, and it's there's a lot of like this is on the edge of Bishop Arts, which is kind of growing with what do they call that? Where you're bringing in
Oh, it's like gentrifying the neighborhood.
gentrifying, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's being gentrified as we speak.
I
So
thought that meant the town was just getting taken over by a bunch of redheads.
that's gentrifying.
It's gentrifying.
Okay.
That's gingivitis.
Gingivitis.
Gingivitis
Gingivitis.
is a redhead with bad breath.
Yeah. And you don't want that.
You don't want that.
No,
Nobody
Las Vegas has already got one, Carrot Top.
Oh.
Carrot Top.
Oh. Calling him out.
Love you, Carrot Top. Come be on the podcast.
Carrot Top is great. Carrot Top is a friend of mine. I know his name is Scott Thompson, and he's one of those guys that everybody takes a shot at, but he's a really good writer, and he is really funny, man. And he's the sweetest guy in the world.
Really?
And he's just he can't imagine why anybody doesn't like him.
Oh, no, I listened to him on Whiskey Ginger, Andrew Santino, and I was like, why does people dog on this guy so bad?
they
Like, this
dog-
is
like,
like
oh,
the nicest
yeah.
person ever.
And they dog on him on Family
Family
Guy,
Guy, yeah.
and Simpsons, I think, have dogged on him. Imagine that. South Park, I think, has dogged on him.
But that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, well
Like,
he's so famous.
yeah.
He's infamous for that.
Like, and it's just that running joke that just keeps going. It's like anytime something happens, and it's just like, oh, Carrot Top, and it's like,
Yeah, we did a show together in North Carolina a long time ago, before he was huge, but he was already pretty big.
Jack, dude.
And no, this is before he was jacked. And we went to like a, I don't know, like a Friendlies or like just a restaurant, like a Applebee's afterwards. And within 5 minutes of us just having a conversation, he got mobbed.
Yeah.
People just came over and were just like, Carrot Top, holy crap, okay, everybody's Carrot, and then that's what it became about. So it's funny how fame is a blessing and a curse, because we were just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, y'all just trying to have some drinks at Applebee's.
Right.
yeah.
Can a guy just have an Applebee drink?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
All the margaritas, come on.
Trying to get kicked out of this Applebee's with Carrot Top. Leave me alone.
Right. It was a bunch of girls too. The girls loved him.
That red hair.
And a lot of
Yeah.
guys though. A lot of guys loved him. Like they that's the thing about comedians is there's some comedians that girls have crushes on, but for the most part, it's always the guys that like the comedians, and the girls like kind of being dragged
You
along.
gotta be drugged to the show.
It's like, well, we try not to drug our girls at the show.
Well, okay.
The only time
Well,
it's reversed
what
whenever
I do.
the girls, yeah, it's when the girls are going to the Matt Rife stand-up.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
when
they're
it's
getting
like,
roofied.
yeah.
Oh God,
They're
Matt
roofing.
Rife.
They're roofing their
He's a pervert.
boyfriends so they can try to hook up with
pervert?
Matt Rife.
No, I don't.
Oh God, I hope not. That poor guy. He got reamed on too because his Netflix special wasn't all that.
Yeah.
thought it was-
Well, you like shit on women.
Well, he
In a way.
he attracted a whole woman audience, and then he shit on the audience that he attracted, and so
We're just like
it was a little bit
classic comedian, you know? You're like,
yeah.
Because he was all the times growing up, he had like the funky teeth. He was a skinny white boy, and growing up, and then like now he's all fit,
yeah.
Right
nice
now he's
teeth, and all of a sudden all the girls want him, and he's like, oh, now you want me? Okay,
right.
well I'm gonna
They're
get
like,
your
yeah,
attention.
you were ugly before, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want?
He addressed that too in his first stand up where he was like, I just got pretty like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know why y'all are freaking out.
I don't know how to handle this shit, so you need to leave me alone.
That's like my wife's cousin, because I went to school with her back in the day, and she was like, yeah, Skylar used to get all the girls. And I'm like, are we talking about the same Skylar? Because I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
That's
One
Skylar.
girl.
there's actually a girl in town called Skylar Torres.
Yeah.
So
And she was getting
Maybe she was the one getting all the girls.
probably.
Hot lesbian,
super hot lesbian.
Makes sense.
Kind of looked alike with the long hair.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, get
He didn't
that.
have facial hair back then, so
I barely have it now.
better grow a goatee.
oh, man, how long have we been going? Not long enough.
50 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What other questions you got? Anything?
What was it like doing stand up in Montreal?
The Montreal Comedy Festival was hard to get. I auditioned for that multiple times, and finally, my manager at the time was associated with the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, so he was able to get some like inside help to get me on that lineup because I did the New Faces. It was great. It was it's weird though, these festivals are a big attraction for a lot of comedians. So you have to go in there with your A game and really perform at your highest level. And that's how I got the Conan was off of that Just for Laughs. The woman who books the Conan O'Brien show at the time saw me there and wanted me to come in and do a set for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I did another set for Conan before that, not as a stand-up comic, but I was an actor. They, a friend of mine, Brian Stack, who was a Second City guy, ended up writing for Conan, and so he called me up when I was living in New York, and he was like, "Hey, man, I heard you're in New York. We need a bald guy to come in and be a monk." So I came in. I played this monk, and a monk who got his hand deep fried in oil. So the gag was Conan was playing Santa Claus.
Oh God.
And so he had kids come in on his knee, and Andy Richter was his elf partner. And so Andy would put a kid on Santa's knee, and the kid would ask for something, and Conan would give him a smart ass answer, and then they would go to the next kid. So the kid that I was on said, "Santa, I want to know the meaning of life." And Santa was like, "Whoa, ho, ho, I don't know the meaning of life. That's too deep a question for Santa to answer. But how about if I show you a monk getting his hand deep fried in oil?" Okay.
Okay.
So then they cut to me, and then I have a fake French fry oil machine, and I put my hand in. I'm like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" Ah! And that was my first Conan O'Brien special. was getting my hand deep fried in oil.
Awesome.
Did you actually get to meet him and talk with him?
I actually didn't. That I did when I was on as a comedian,
Right.
but I didn't when I was doing the sketch because they were recording those during the day before the earlier in the day before the actual show is recorded. Usually the show records around 4:30
Right.
or 5.
That's crazy. So they just wheeled you in a room, and they were like, "All right."
Yep, they had a monk costume all ready for me. They had the fryer set up, and then they had the camera crew ready for it.
He's like, peace be with you.
Peace be with you. Yeah, and it was funny because they had me do a couple of different takes, and then they were like, "Okay, that's great," and then I'm just okay, see ya. And then sure enough, I was on that night.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's funny, yeah, it's fun. That going to the studio is fun because you drive in and you have to go past the security, and then you're like, "I'm on the list," and then they have to look you up, and then they card you, and then you come in, and then it's unless you work there, it's intimidating. You go to whatever that was with NBC Studios.
Yeah.
And so you're walking inside the NBC Studios, and you're seeing all the different shows that are being produced there, and all the different sets that are set up there, and then you find your way to yours, and it's cool. What's up, Ian? Okay, he let our dog out.
He was like, "I'm just letting the dog out."
Is this one barking at a chicken?
This one's barking at me.
Yeah. It's
He wants daddy.
yeah. He just wants to be in your lap.
And the dog's like, all right, time's up.
Time's
Bring it
up.
out.
Ask me some questions. As Mike's dog, what do you think of the dinner schedule?
Does
Yeah.
he feed you good?
He's like, "I wish
he
we
feed you
ate
farmer's
3
dog?
more times a day."
Yeah, right.
Today's sponsor. No.
Today's sponsored by Farmer's Dog.
Farmers.
We feed him 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Yep.
Dang. We feed ours twice, and
What's
then
up, Ian? Maria's here? Does Mom leave already? And Maria does she want me to talk to me? Okay, hold on. Oh, can you guys hold on?
No, yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
of
Go
course.
ahead. You're fine. Me and David can talk. Ooh.
tacos.
Tacos and burritos.
Burritos.
Chimichanga burrito. What's up, puppy dog?
Oh, little pepper dog. That's a sweet pepper. Oh my God.
Is it? Say it.
I'm sweet pepper dog. Oh, little sweet puppy.
It was weird. I swear I heard you through the mic.
You tripping, bro? You
Maybe.
freaking.
Dude, it's really nice out here. I've never been in Dallas at nighttime. Oh no, wait, I was here last week. Or the weekend before, whatever, at the Silo, which we're going again on April 5th.
April 5th.
Yeah, gonna go see Sudden Death.
That's badass.
That was cool. It's just like already bonding because you were talking about football, and then I'm bonding because I was like, I like weed.
He was like, we already made friends. I was like, oh, good to know.
Bitty good, bitty good. Can't
That's
see
cool,
us.
man.
The freaking light, dude, will be off, and then I'll be sitting here and it hits me, and I'm like,
Yeah, he would lean forward a while ago, and I was like, oh, gosh. We did it. We did it. Maria.
Mama Maria.
That's Mama Maria. Mama Maria is our next door neighbor who grew up with my wife, living next door to my wife. And so now whenever they're having a party over there, they're having some people over. So she's making, what are they called? Tamales.
Oh, nice.
So she wanted to bring us over some tamales.
Hell
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in on the episode. We're gonna go get some tamales. No.
It's tamale time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna ask you
You
something.
can edit out that silent moment. Unless you guys are talking as
yeah.
if I'm still here.
We were talking about how nice your house was.
Yeah, the old 100-year-old house.
Yeah, we were talking about how nice Dallas was at night.
It's cool, isn't it?
Hey,
There's one
man.
of the cats.
Hey, look at her.
Kitten.
Yeah, this house is old. This house was like 110 years old, something like that.
Wow.
And it was only the front part of the house, and they added on the back part of it. So it's old, man. It's but we're grateful to have it.
I understand. I live in an old house. It still has the switches, like the 2-button switch
Right.
on it.
Is
We were
that
watching that 1923 on Paramount.
Paramount?
Yeah, with Harrison Ford and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they had like the buttons on there, and I was like,
Like, hey, that's
"Hey, is that my house?"
my house.
Like, wait a minute.
Old school.
His
Yeah.
house was moved from
Thurber.
which is like a little boom town.
Oh,
that was out
okay.
there. And then it was like 1921.
Something like
Something
that.
like that. So
Nice.
yeah, it's crazy. It's over 100 years old too.
I wanted to make a video, like one of those stupid TikTok videos, back the whole Bud Light controversy thing or whatever.
Right.
And I wanted to be like go up in my attic because I haven't been up there yet. Because I know as soon as I do, that's when the ghosts and stuff will come out and get me and do weird stuff. So I wanted to make a video where I pop up and I'm like looking around and I'm like, I hope there's not any ghosts in here. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just a Bud Light can. He's a gay ghost or something.
Bud
Something
Light.
stupid that I was like, I'm not gonna do it.
Dude,
That's
I'm
kind of
scaring
dumb.
you.
Yeah. Boo.
So, is there a comedy club in Stevensville?
No,
Not yet.
we are hoping
Yeah, this
What's the closest one to you?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay.
or
Where are you in direction to Fort Worth? Are you north, south, east, or west of?
We're west.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
From
just had a friend whose mother died and lived in probably near where you're talking about because he was just west of Fort Worth. Can't remember what the city was he was in,
Hmm.
but that was a drive. He said.
yeah, it's an hour from my doorstep to downtown Fort Worth. Hour and 10 minutes.
Whoa.
So
And then to get here was another
and then it's
30.
like another 40 minutes here.
40 minutes. Wow.
unless I'm driving 80, then
Yeah, then it's 30.
Well, in Texas, you're allowed to drive that fast. That's what I know. I learned is that
Yeah,
you're a dipshit if you don't.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're not
60s,
following.
80,
We're not
75s,
following those
90s.
speed limit signs.
those
don't-
are just suggestions
Those
here.
are suggestions,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
We
And
don't
we
need.
suggest that we all go faster.
Yeah, that's what, I used to do a lot of driving, man. When you first start as a comedian, you drive everywhere and you start to tour, and then I had a base first of all, I had a base in Orlando, and then I would drive all over the state of Florida. And then I had a base in Cleveland where I took back when you had to, this is before cell phones. I had a answering machine
Nice.
in my parents' house and just I kept the volume off and just used that as my home office, and it was never there. And then I moved to Chicago and had my base there and had a answering machine that took calls there, and then finally cell phones came around.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, that solves all the
That's
problems.
really nice.
This is really great, and I can answer all my questions.
Yeah. Then you had the minutes. You had to go.
Well,
Yeah,
then
you have to call
eventually I
after
started
9.
to fly. Then people started flying me to the gigs, and then that was a little bit better because
Yeah,
you know, then they pick you up at the airport and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
you're not driving overnight
right,
trying to make a gig.
I drove. There's so many times I drove, and then just like that where you're just. It's a 10-hour drive. I'm leaving 10 hours and 15 minutes before the gig starts. Here we go.
Here we go.
I can get this. I sure will be right in the mood to do comedy after a 10-hour drive.
Yeah. You're all stove up. You're like, oh my God, my body.
Is that why most comedians are usually yelling?
Right? We're just getting out of the car.
I just drove 10 hours to get here.
You sons of
Thank you.
bitches.
You better fucking laugh.
What's
Okay.
the biggest gig you've done?
Probably the Tonight Show. Probably, and then Second City and the Flamingo gig was pretty big deal. That was pretty cool. The Just for Laughs Comedy Festival was a pretty big deal. That felt pretty important. The most people I've performed in front of, I did a theater with a couple thousand people in it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I walked out on that gig, and the first thing someone yelled out, "Buff your head for a nickel."
Damn.
And so I didn't even get a word out yet, and someone yelled that out. So I turned it into the whole show. I ended up making that guy part of the show. And by the end, I had him mopping the bathroom floor, knocking on the door of the stall, going, "Hey, I was in the show last night. Buff your head for a nickel." And so I had him doing all sorts of embarrassing things. I mean, you know, just with my imagination.
Right.
So, yeah,
That's crazy, man.
That's what you got to do when people try to insert themselves in the show. Now you have to sort of,
Yeah, you're the one with the microphone.
right. You gotta take charge. Yeah. So I said, "Wow, sir, you're pretty bold to just yell that out. Buff your head for a nickel." I said, "That's number one. That's a great price." You know, and I've got a couple of nickels, so I might get a couple of buffs at that price. And then I said, you know, you had the balls to say that out loud. Holy crap! You know, you're going to be at the exit of the show, shaking hands afterwards with the comics. You know, I was in the show. I was the Buff Your Head for a Nickel guy. I was signing some autographs. You know, and then I had him driving home with his wife. It's your wife. You and your wife are going to be driving home. You know, and honey, you were part of the show. I know. I was the Buff Your Head for a Nickel guy. And so I had. Eventually, she gave him head in the car because he was in the show.
You're a star now.
You're a star.
Star, baby. I believe in you.
Yeah, and then I had him at the end. I was like, "You're going to be at work tomorrow, bragging to your coworkers," and I had him mopping the bathroom floor. Buff your head for a nickel. I was in the show. So you can't let that kind of stuff throw you off.
Yeah.
You got to just
Gotta
make it part of the
run
show.
with it.
That's the yes and.
Yes, yes, and exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
doing that
okay.
when somebody tries to like embarrass you or something, and then you kind of like one up it, and you're like, yeah, and then they're just
Right.
like,
And that plus more of it.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
like me now?
that's the best you got. I say that when I look in the mirror in the morning.
Right? You
Yeah.
don't understand. I'm my own worst enemy. You're nothing compared to me.
Yeah. You couldn't say anything about me being fat that I haven't either heard or
Right.
said to myself. So good luck, bud.
Good luck. Good luck trying to make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then you start crying.
Turn around. Mom, this fucking guy at the show tonight.
You call me fat.
But on an unrelated note, that's my time. I'm gonna go backstage for no reason. Just
No reason. Just
Mom,
could you bring a box of tissues back there?
yeah. And
Mom, can
lotion,
you pick
I
me up
mean,
from the comedy club? This guy called me fat.
Yeah, that.
David, you're 30 years old. Leave me
Leave me
alone.
alone.
Get
We're
a
not
job.
roommates anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, Mom. I never loved you. Okay, I'm just kidding. I love you. Come get me.
Come get me.
I want some chicken nuggies.
I didn't ask to be born, Mom.
Yeah, that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
man.
old days.
Well, I really appreciate you reaching out and stuff, because like I get a couple of emails every now and then of something like a thing that I'm like oh, that it's interesting, and you get down to it and it's like pay $50 now and and I'm like So close.
You almost had
And then I saw yours, and I'm like reading it. I'm like,
I'm not charging you anything.
yeah.
I was
No,
like, this
I'm
guy's-
just trying to get out my name out again and trying to get out as many audience as possible and promote my books and my comedy. And you guys are, you're a fun show, and I figured it'd be fun to talk to you.
Yeah, man, we
Well,
loved it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on more.
Do you
If
want to?
you want to be on it and
Want to
stuff.
plug your podcast? Your
Yeah, well, I do a podcast called the Funny Muscle Podcast. It's wherever you get your pods, and we have comedians on that we interview, and we ask them about how they write their material and how they get their gigs, and it's great information for new comics to glom onto that.
that's awesome. Yeah, we want to.
And then any books that you want of mine, you can go to funnymuscle.com to get my Funny Muscle books. You can go to Amazon and Barnes & Noble also to get those books. And then for my other books, like the Spin Kick, Hiss of Death, you can get that at mike-lucas.com. And Lucas is spelled Lukas. So it's mike-lucas.com.
That's awesome. We loved having you, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it again.
I would love to,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can do it
and we can
inside.
also, if you guys don't feel like driving out here, we can always do a Zoom call or a Facebook call. But you are hungry, so
Yeah,
well, I'll invite you out again.
definitely. Yeah,
Oh,
And we'll have a fire.
I'm down for
down
it.
for that.
We'll have a fire and another little fire.
Tell you what, next time we come up, we'll work on
Vlogs.
we'll work on some stuff, and we'll sign up for open mic, and
Oh, that'd be great.
then you
And
can critique us. And
yeah, we can do some feedback online on the air, and that'd be fun.
you can call us trash. What we really are.
No, I'm not. I always give like compliment sandwiches. I always tell you what I liked about it, even if it's something that I'm really pulling out of my ass. I tell you what I liked about it, and then I tell you what I think you could work on, and then I tell you what I think that you're doing good at.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
then
good
here comes
sandwich.
the roast beef.
It's like the roast beef. Yeah,
Yeah.
the insults are the roast beef
Yeah.
in the middle. No, I try. To me, if you're doing stand up and you're trying at all, it takes such guts. So there's no reason to discourage anybody who's got the guts to at least try.
Exactly.
What most people are suffering from is just a lack of knowledge of how it goes, of how to do it.
100%.
And so all you can do is to try to give them some knowledge about maybe how to do it better, and that's it. And then if they can take that advice and run with it, it's cool. And if they can't, then they're just not ready for it yet, and that's cool too.
Just constructive criticism.
Yeah,
Takes years.
it
you know?
does.
So,
And that's the thing about I teach these classes at Dallas Comedy Club, and they're 8-week classes. So you're trying to teach a group of people how to do something in 8 weeks that takes other people 8 years to get.
right.
And so you can only get so successful doing it in that short of time. But the classes are really helpful. They really force you to write. They force you to perform. They force you to pitch. They force you to tag other people's material. And they get you in the mood to do comedy because you're every week having to show up.
How do you sign up for that?
Those classes, you just sign up online at the dallas-comedyclub.com.
Okay.
And those classes are, there's only 10 people in each class, so they fill up pretty quickly.
Right.
But they cost, I think, $350 for 8 weeks. And then you can usually get a $50 off coupon because especially if it's your first class.
Gotcha.
And we do level 1, level 2, and level 3.
Right on.
Then level mic, right?
Say it again.
Level mic. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, level mic.
Level mic.
It's ultimately when you get to me.
The
Can you
final
defeat
boss.
the final comic?
The student has become a teacher.
Very good, very good.
And then
I mean-
spin kick. I got him.
Kiss of death.
I come in with a bald cap and I'm like, yes.
Yes. Oh, he knows.
There's a gay snake outside. Yeah.
The hiss of death. Well, I look forward to hearing your feedback on the books. I want you to get all of them and leave some good reviews for me.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get them, read some, and then, on the podcast, like every episode, we'll do the little Mike Lukas segment.
Brought to you by Mike Lukas, The Hiss of
The
Death.
hiss of death.
And then just a little picture of you pops up.
Mike Lukas. He'll kick your teeth in and tell you a joke.
Whatcha? Yeah, I always wish I could spin kick. That was my goal. It's like I wish I could be able to do a spin kick and still like be standing afterwards.
It's
I know, I keep looking at the trampoline. I kind of want to go jump on it.
Kick, so
Right? Yeah. Let alone.
Rob Lowe.
I'll be there in a year. I've been fucking kicking in a year, Mike. I tell you what.
Well, I believe in you, David. I know you're gonna do it, man.
David's gonna be our size, and
Yeah.
Are you going on a diet?
I'm on a diet currently. I've lost 40 pounds.
40. Jesus, that's like a half an ass.
Yeah. I'm having surgery sometime this year.
Oh, so you getting ready for the surgery?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good for you, man.
So
You instead of Ozempic, where you just take a shot and.
yeah, they put me on Manjaro because I'm borderline diabetic.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
is helping, but I work outside. And I changed my eating habits.
Good for
I
you,
quit drinking.
man. You'll lose a lot of weight just from quitting drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I thinned out. I used to weigh like 230, 245, and then I'm down to like 205 now because I stopped drinking.
Nice. Yeah.
he's like, I stopped drinking and kept smoking.
Yeah, I'm California sober.
Yeah, there you go.
I quit smoking first actually. And that sucks. I miss it.
You quit weed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I quit smoking cigarettes recently.
that's a rough one. I
and
heard.
Let me tell you something. I want to fight everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dipping and it's just not the same, man.
No, but you're getting, at least you're getting some
Yeah.
nicotine in you.
I quit for 3 years.
It's got to pack
Now
Now
it
you
on
got a
back.
pack in you now.
I'm
Yeah, my
back
wife
doing
smokes. It's a
construction.
hard thing to quit, man. It's a hard. There's a book called "The Easy Way to Quit Smoking." If you ever really want to quit smoking, read that book. That you're allowed to smoke while you're reading the book.
While you're reading it.
Yeah, and then he says by the time you're done with this book, you'll want to quit smoking.
Okay.
So
I put it in my head like a couple years. Like I used to smoke like a pack or two a day kind of thing.
all right,
And now I started doing construction again, and every now and then I just need that like little bit of nicotine,
right.
you know. And for a while, whenever I was quitting, anytime I smoked a cigarette or I was around a cigarette, I was telling myself, I'm like, that stinks.
Yeah, it's gross.
It smells nasty.
Yeah.
And then it put it in my head to where for a while, anytime I'd hit a cigarette, I'd throw up.
Oh yeah.
So then it's like my body was like rejecting it. So
Yeah.
I just quit smoking,
That's
like
smart.
cold turkey.
Now your body's like, well, welcome home,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh,
Thank God.
sweet
I'm
relief.
sorry
Sweet
for making you
relief.
quit that. I see why you needed it.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
The little demon inside me was like, what are you doing?
Right.
The motivator was I was talking to the doctor and he was like, yeah, I mean, you can keep smoking. And he's like, I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna suck. You're gonna get like ulcers and all kinds of shit. And I was like,
Right.
I'm out, dude.
But you were vaping, not
Yeah,
like
I was
cigarettes.
vaping.
Oh
Well, I was
yeah,
doing
getting
both
that
for-
popcorn lung.
Yeah. So now I'm just done with it all.
That's good, man. Well,
I think mostly it was just a habit of like,
yeah, it's a habit. It really is, and like moving and athleticism can be a habit too. It's just a different habit,
right.
and it's just not one that's easier to do. You know, there's a laziness to hanging out and being lethargic that I love.
Yeah.
And that quitting smoking weed is probably going to help you with that. It can
Yeah.
make you a little bit more
I dude, just being down 40 pounds, I have so much more energy.
right. 40
Uh,
pounds is a lot, man.
I'm clear-
Congratulations.
Like I feel clear headed. I feel bad for him because when we started this thing, it was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do some research, and then I just wouldn't do anything. And I'd go
Right.
and be like, oh,
I'm boring
oh,
now.
fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, but you'll find other
We
things
still
to
made it
do.
work.
You're in the middle ground right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
We're baby stepping right now.
Yeah.
You'll be episode
episode
5.
Five.
Okay,
So
so we're brand new. Oh, so no wonder you're surprised I called you. You're like, how did you find out about it so soon?
Well, we did one season. We did 20 episodes,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and then episode 5 of season 2.
Oh, this is
Because,
season
yeah.
2. Oh, we're in season 2 already.
Yeah.
Just because of the end of the year kind of thing. So we were like, why don't we just
Call it.
call it and start new kind of thing.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So yeah, I was
Right.
really excited when you hit us up and was like, hey, I'd love to be on the show. I was like,
Yeah, we feel
What?
better. I feel better about it now. Like if you would have called us last year, I'd have been like, we can't fucking go over there. Can't talk to this man.
No,
we were
it's
like
good.
pulling in like, oh shit, and then you came walking out Cleveland sweater, and he's like, hell yeah, and I was like, he smokes weed. I was like,
He's a weed smoker. You
Yeah.
can tell.
we're gonna be cool.
It's gonna be totally
Got his
cool.
Jordans on. We're gonna be
Right,
cool.
he's ready to go.
Jordan's
Yes.
too.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, they're my favorite shoes.
Nice.
They help me jump.
PF Fly.
Yeah, right.
You run fast
Make you
and
run
jump
fast.
higher.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, Mike.
We're out. We love you.
See y'all next week.
Love you, crowd.
Thank you for watching H&D Comedy Podcast.
Work it, boy.
Get funky, get freaky. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us so we can bring you more content.
Oh, baby. Ooh.
Check 1 2, testing 1 2.
Mic check 1 2.
Mike. Oh, it's a little loud. Mike. Okay.
That's because you're speaking from the diaphragm.
You gotta feel it in my bones.
Feeling it down low. I'm loving this weather just because we can start doing podcasts like this.
Right. Hold on. I always forget to do that. And then what always happens is there's an alarm that'll go off. Make sure I don't have an alarm because the alarm bypasses that.
Yeah, it just goes off.
And I did that with my daughter's show. She's in a food show. Let's see what do we got. No, we're good.
I know my phone, I have it set to where about 8 o'clock it goes into like sleep mode or whatever, to where if anybody tries to text or call, it doesn't notify me or nothing.
Nice. Your phone knows when you're ready to chill.
It's like saying, hey, time to wind down a little bit. And then like 8:30, it goes into that mode.
Nice.
8:15, it plays this little like do do do, like a little like child
It's
thing.
like it plays you off.
Yeah.
Time
me
to
off a little.
sleep.
Go to sleep.
Oh, baby, it's time to turn off this. You need to focus on maybe a book or maybe do your nails.
I need to go lay in bed and read Mike Lukas's book.
Right? So I'm finding your funny muscle. It's so great. It'll put you right to sleep. It's awesome.
So funny. I went to bed.
I laugh myself to dreamland.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, this is a good view. It's nice.
It's nice, right? This is the house that my wife grew up in, and then she left and swore she'd never come back, and then now we're living here.
Here we are.
So
Well, you know the old saying in Texas.
Never say never.
never say never. Always
I
gonna
was
come
gonna say
back.
everything's bigger, but
Yeah, it's funny. It's metaphorically bigger in Texas. Everything is the way we.
I mean, look at
just the
David.
Sky, like just this. I love the Texas blue sky. Coming from Cleveland, it's always gray, and except for like there's like 3 weeks in the summer where it's blue, and then everything else is just kind of gray, and it's just like gets you used to being sort of like, I don't feel that excited about
sad.
life.
I'm so sad.
I'm sad. The clouds are making me sad.
That one looks like a sad clown.
No,
I'm
you're picturing
sad.
sad clowns in the sky. Oh, he's got a big old sad nose.